To be honest, on an everyday basis, I do not have a ton of time to do my makeup, so I created this routine for when you have like 15 minutes, but you want to look really good, okay? This is the ultimate everyday makeup routine that will just honestly look flattering on anyone. If you want to know how I achieve this look, keep on watching, but before we get into it, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. But yeah, let's get right into it. I like to always start with my base, and when I'm doing my everyday makeup, I typically like to reach for a tinted moisturizer instead of a foundation. Today I'm using one of my favorites. I'm using the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Terre Nueve Light Zero. And the reason I like to reach for a tinted moisturizer rather than a foundation is for every day, I just want to look like myself, but I want to look better. I want to look good. I want to look put together. I don't really want to look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. And honestly, I just feel like tinted moisturizers are kind of slept on these days. I just kind of feel like I'm wearing a mask when I wear foundation. Although there are some good ones, don't get me wrong. But as you can see, I'm just applying a very even thin layer of this. I really don't want to go for full coverage at this stage. We're gonna kind of add our coverage very selectively later on, but for now, just make sure you blend your tinted moisturizer in really good. Make sure it's a nice, thin, even layers, no brush streaks, just take your time with the base. Something I really love about this tinted moisturizer is that it never pills on me, and this is something really important because if a base product is pilling all the time, it just ruins your entire makeup and it's just not worth it. So I really vet my base products. This one's never let me down. To blend that out, I used my Hourglass foundation brush. I'm always using this brush. I cannot recommend it enough, but I always forget to mention, I have a discount code with Hourglass, so if you want to use it, save some money, it is Amanda10. All of my discount codes are always listed down below in the description, so if you ever want to know what I'm using, just check down there. All the information will be there for you. Now I'm going in with bronzer, and some things for me just don't change. I've been using this bronzer forever, but it is so good. This is the Say Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. I use the shade Fair Bronze, and I've been using this bronzer for a very long time. I actually hit pan in it. You can hardly see it, but she has been very well loved. I just think this bronzer, the name is perfect. It melts into the skin, and I've said this before, but bronzer can be one of those steps that like takes longer than it needs to. And when I'm doing my quick everyday makeup, I need my bronzer just to like melt in and blend itself out, and that is what this does. I use my Refi brush to apply this. I use the denser side to pack the color on my skin, and then once I've got the product placed how I want it to, I blend it out with the dual fiber, more fluffy side for a very airbrushed finish, and it always looks so good and takes me like no time. And it's a clean product, so we love that. Blush is one of my favorite steps of my entire makeup routine. I love it so much. And these quickly have become one of my favorite blushes. These are by Westman Atelier. This is their Baby Cheeks Cream Blush. I'm using the shade Chouchette. These are just so pigmented and creamy, and they feel so luxurious. The shade range is gorgeous. I just really feel like these are a standout blush in my collection right now. You can apply them straight to the skin and blend them out. You can warm them up on the back of your hand if you want more of a soft and diffused look. Another shade I really love is the shade Petal. It's kind of similar, but a little bit more mauve-y, I would say. Like, do you guys see how that just blended out so nicely into my skin and how pretty this color is? I used my Makeup by Mario F4 brush. I've been loving this one for blush, but look at that, and it's very buildable. Usually when I'm in a rush, I will just like apply it straight from the stick and I'll leave it at that, but I'll show you guys right now really quickly how buildable these blushes are. Just pushing that into the skin, blends so quickly. Look at that. So easy to use, so forgiving. You almost like can't overdo these blushes. But look, oh, I just think one of the most beautiful blushes I've tried in a very long time. Moving on to concealer, I'm using the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. This is just one of my favorite concealers, and it has been for quite a while. I do find that this isn't like a super full coverage concealer. It's definitely more of like a medium natural coverage, which I like, but I also really appreciate that it doesn't really pill on my under eyes or really anywhere on my face because it's got a very thin, airy consistency. It just isn't heavy and it doesn't bunch up. So it's a huge reason why I like this one for every day. And I like to blend out that concealer using my Kevyn Aucoin concealer brush. So usually after I apply all my creams, I like to set my face, just to kind of help marinate things a little bit while I'm doing the eyes. So I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I really do find that it helps my makeup last all day, and it just like melts everything together so nicely. Moving on to eyes, I've been keeping it so simple and I love it. I am going in with the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes The Neutrals palette. And my dream combo for my crease is these two shades mixed together. I think they look so pretty. And I always like rub the excess into my brush on the meaty part of my hand. I just feel like this prevents my eyeshadow from being patchy ever. Also, this is a Rephr 01 brush. This is the best brush for eyeshadow. I've been absolutely obsessed with it. It changed, honestly, my whole eyeshadow game. And I'm not just saying that. I've used a ton of brushes and this is the one. I'll link it down below. But I'm just basically gonna fluff that into my crease, and I'm kind of gonna like flick it into my nose area, just like this. And I'm just gonna very slowly build up that shade. So a lot of you guys were so sweet on my last video. I did like a bit of a different style, more of like a chit-chatty style, a little bit less like polished and structured as my normal videos. And so many of you really liked it and it made me so happy. So I was thinking something that might be kind of fun would be like a get to know me style video. So like a Q&A type of thing. So anyways, if you have any questions for me that you want to know, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll just kind of like use the comment section of this video, and then I will answer all of your questions that are in the comment section of this video. And the questions don't have to be about makeup either. You could literally ask me anything. So I'm liking the way that's looking, very subtle. I'm just gonna drag that color on that exact same brush on my lower lash line, just like so. And then whatever is left on my brush, I'm just gonna like dust it across my lid. I really don't want a heavy wash of color, but I just kind of like do a little bit. I don't know. And then if I'm feeling a little extra fancy, I'll go in with my Victoria Beckham Lid Luster in the shade Chiffon. And I just like to pick that up on my finger, and I'll just pat that kind of just all over the lid. This is not a very opaque shimmer. It's just like a lid topper, and it just looks so pretty to add a little dimension. And it's so quick to just pick it up on your finger and just press it all over the lid, and boom, you're done. For every day, I do like to add a little bit of a baby wing, so I like to go in with my Laura Mercier Espresso Brown Caviar Eyeliner Pencil, and I just kind of messily draw on a rough sketch of where I want my liner to be. It really doesn't have to be perfect, because after that's applied, I like to go in with an angled brush and just smooth out the edges and perfect everything. And then I really like to add this kind of like finishing touch to my eye look. I love adding the Swede Satin Kohl eyeliner pencil in my waterline, but I've recently been only applying it in the center, and I just think it looks so good. I just feel like it makes my eyes look a lot bigger and a lot more awake. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of mascara before going in with individual lashes. I just wanna keep this coat nice and even. This is really gonna lengthen our lashes and give us some nice volume before going in with those falsies. Actually, on second thought, I think I'm just gonna skip individuals because I am having a really good lash day and I just wanna leave my lashes as is. Moving right along, I'm gonna set my under eyes. I'm using the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder in the baby pink shade. And I love to use this with a very like tightly knit powder puff. I'm using this one from One Size. I will link it down below, but I just pick up that powder and I just press it right into my under eyes, and this does such a good job of just blurring and setting the under eyes into place. It's so finely milled and it adds some brightness too, which I like. I just think it looks so good. I like to take a bit of that powder on my smile lines as well. I just find that under eye powders are very finely milled and they just work so good in the smile lines. They don't crease up. I just prefer them, honestly. And for the rest of my face, I want to preserve that natural glow we have going on. So I'm just going in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. And I'm just going to pick up the lightest shade here and set my entire face with it really quickly. and I'm using this powder with a Refer 19 brush. I like to add a little bit more powder bronzer to the face if I'm feeling a little pale, and so I'm going in with my NARS Laguna 00 Laguna Bronzing Powder and a Refer 05 brush, and I'm just going to give it a little swirl, tap off the excess, and then I just like to really quickly and like almost kind of messily just brush that all around the perimeter of my face. I even sometimes take a little bit just right like on the eyelid, really messy like that. It just gives this very effortless bronzy effect. Same thing with blush. I like to layer my powders on top of my creams, and so I'm going in with my Kosas Blush is Life in the shade Bliss. It's just a really pretty baby peach shade. I'm picking that up on a Refer 04 brush, and this is pigmented, so make sure you kind of blend it in on the back of your hand first, and then I'm just going to apply a little bit to the apples of my cheeks. Such a gorgeous baby peach pinky shade. All right, aside from cheeks, lips are one of the favorite parts of my makeup routine as well, and I'm going in with my Victoria Beckham Lip Definer in the shade 02, I believe. I think this is 02. I sharpened it, so the number is gone, but yeah, I think it's the second lightest shade. I've been avoiding using this because it's getting kind of small, and this is just the prettiest lip liner shade. I find it very similar to like MAC Whirl, Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut. It's just that perfect lip liner shade. Obviously, I overline quite a bit, and then I like to fill in the outer corner as well. That lip liner is almost as if MAC Whirl and Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut had a baby. Now I'm going in with lip balm. I'm going in with the Ilia Hold Me Balmy Tint Hydrating Lip Balm. I get so many compliments on this lip balm. I've just been wearing it almost every day for months now. It's that perfect, like, your lip a better shade, but a little bit peachy. I don't know, I just am obsessed with it. And depending on how I'm feeling that day, I like to make my lip a little bit more light, a little bit more nude. So I will just go in, actually, recently I've been doing this. I just take the tiniest bit of that concealer that I used earlier, like literally the tiniest bit, and I'll just pick it up on my finger. Really careful that I'm only picking up like the littlest amount, otherwise it's a little crazy. Then I press it right into the center of my lip and kind of just mix those two shades together. And this creates the most flattering nude for you because it's like the same tone as your skin. And then you can just customize any lip shade to be a little bit more nude. I think it looks so good. And then I like to finish with a little bit of a gloss, and I cannot say too much about this one yet. I will be able to share it with you guys so soon. So soon. I've been really loving when my lips look like super glossy lately. So you could just go in with any gloss you like. Okay, now for real, for the final touch that I've been adding lately, I just love this step. I go in with the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in the Universal shade. And I like to go in with this white shade. This is the Final Touch brush from Tennille Jai. This is such a good highlighter brush. And I just take that highlight and just put a little right on my brow bone and on the highest point of my cheekbone. It is so good. I don't like really glittery highlights, and this one is like the perfect like pearlescent glow. And that is it for my everyday makeup routine. Let me know if you liked it in the comment section down below. Comment some of your staple everyday makeup products as well. I'm so snoopy and I read every comment, I respond to every comment. It makes me so happy. So meet me in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.